Hello, and thank you for coming to the McWaters Effect. I'm your host, Matt, and today I'm looking at America's Voice. But first, I need you to hit like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. Now let's go ahead and watch this video. Alright guys, this is a video with Steve Bannon interviewing Colonel Doug Mastriano. Now he is a representative from Pennsylvania, and he's actually in Arizona right now, looking at the addition they're doing there, and decide if they're going to actually replicate it and bring it to Pennsylvania. Now let's go ahead and watch the video.
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. He's a colonel, retired Army colonel, also a state senator, very involved. In fact, Colonel Mastriano, you were the one that actually, we talked about it this morning, you actually brought Rudy to Gettysburg to kind of kick this process off of really doing these, going around the country and giving these presentations. Talk to us about the delegation you led from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania out to Arizona. Who did you talk to? Who did you meet with? What did you find out? What's your assessment, sir?
Yeah, thank you, Steve, for having me on. So a few weeks back, members of the Arizona House and Senate just put an invitation out, for other states come and see. And so we came. I'm here with Senator Chris Dush and Representative Rob Kaufman, who's the chair of the House Judiciary Committee. And we met with our counterparts in the Capitol here for a few hours this morning. Discuss why we got here, how we got here, what the way ahead is, what the plan is, and then they took us to the floor. We asked all the hard questions. We saw up close and personal how this process is running. And you know what? It's funny reading about the left, the news outlets this morning and the outrage that we're here. It's really befuddling to me that anyone would have any concerns, because this is America. We should have free and transparent elections, and we got nothing to hide. Arizona has nothing to hide. This process here is very disciplined. There's a good, clear chain of custody of all the ballots. The process is accountable, transparent. There's cameras all over the place. You can watch 24/7 what's going on here. And I think this is really the model in the future for any elections that might be in dispute.
Let me ask you, because it was so controversial about Pennsylvania and Georgia, and of course the Patriots in Arizona have taken this on the hands. The mainstream media is calling this a circus, and it's, the broken chain of custody, everything like that. Do you see the model that the Patriots, under the auspices and control of the Senate, which is the constitutional right of the Senate of Arizona to do a full forensic audit, including a recanvass and check the machines, do you see that as a model to get to the bottom, not to worry about new election laws, but do you see that as a model to get to the bottom of exactly what happened on the 3rd of November of 2020?
Yeah, absolutely. I've said this before in your show. I've seen better elections in Afghanistan, and that's not hyperbole. Where an ID required. We don't require ID in Pennsylvania. An international community led by the United States and NATO there moves heaven and earth to ensure good elections in the Balkans, in Afghanistan, and Iraq, and Kosovo. And it's a darn shame that it's a bit of a mockery in Pennsylvania. In this constitutional republic here, people should be able to walk in the booth, know that they have an equal say in the outcome of the election. And instead, I've been hearing ever since November 3rd from thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, about 250,000 people have reached out to me across Pennsylvania, expressing concerns about this election here. So we have to ensure that there's faith and trust in this election process here. And right now, a good portion, about 40% or so in Pennsylvania, do not believe that their vote really does count. And so what Arizona is here is setting a new standard. So yes, we had the hearing on 25 November, and it triggered a bunch of more hearings across the nation here. But Arizona's picked up the banner, picked up the flag, and they're charging forward. And for my friends on the left, there's nothing to be outraged about here. And get rid of your red herrings and stupid comments. If this is America, we should be free and transparent. It's interesting when things go one way, they're okay with it. But when it goes another way, they're not okay with it. What's wrong with having a recount or an audit? And so what's Arizona's doing right here? I think it's really the model. This is probably the first forensic audit of any sizable election in the world. And what I've seen here, there's nothing to hide. And their doors are open. The media can be, in the booth there 24/7 watching things, and cameras are being streamed live. I don't think you can do more to make it more transparent.
State Senator Doug Mastriano from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. What were the hard questions? You went out there, you saw the leaders in the Senate, you saw what was going on the deck plates. What were the hard questions? 2 or 3 of the hard questions you asked, Senator?
Yes. We hear a lot of nonsense from the left about the lack of transparency here and how can you trust this audit here. And the first thing was very obviously, so how are you doing is transparent. And they showed us all the cameras in the convention center here. They're everywhere. So you can watch 24/7 what's going on. And regardless of where you stand on this issue. Another question, of course, is chain of custody from a legal standpoint. When they have possession of this evidence, of these machines and the ballots, how do you ensure their integrity, from point A to point B. And there's multiple points of contact, multiple personnel overseeing the ballots. So from a legal perspective, it can't be challenged. And on top of all that, you have the cameras watching. So that's another one. And the last, of course, the protection of the privacy of individual voters. And we saw clearly that there's no compromise in that. So all that's being done here is looking at the ballots and the machines and if there was any compromise to the level of whether ballots were filled in, by a machine, a copy machine, or whether a human did based off the texture of the circles being filled in. I mean, it's absolutely superb. It's scientific. It's not subjective.
All right, guys, that's the end of the interview. And I think this guy from Pennsylvania, he's a senator, is interested in doing an addition in Pennsylvania, but he just wants to do certain counties. I think you're better off, for transparency reason and for fairness, to do a full state audit. Do Republican districts as well as Democrat districts. And it makes more sense to me to do that. But I also want to do a full nation audit. I think that's what we need to do to figure out what happened during the selection and what needs to be done to fix it. But that's my opinion. Please comment at the bottom. Let me know what you think. And don't forget, hit like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. Peace.